What's up, Facebook Live? 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are here? Thursday evening. Just finishing up my workout. Giving a little challenge to all you push-up people out there. I've been watching these push-up challenges, and I've been seeing these people do it halfway. So it's okay. If you guys want to do a push-up halfway, guess what? It only counts as a half a rep, not a full rep. So you got to do 2 half reps to equal a full rep. So I know my man John Crinny was just logging on. I'm sure he's going to log back on here. And there's Georgia showing up like clockwork. Good to see you this evening. It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? I remember this is like we were yesterday when we were back in school, right, George? We used to hear that saying all the time on the news, but I haven't watched the news in years. I'll get a couple of updates here on Facebook from you good people out there in the world. So I'm just finishing up my workout here. I want to give a big shout out to my man Raul Velasquez here and give you some insights on something that he told me 4 years ago through some of our trainings about how you do anything is how you will do everything. I'll say that again. How you do anything is how you will do everything. Good to see you, Donna. Good to see Eric. See you showing up here. Who else we got logging on there? Thank you guys for checking in. Just finishing up my workout here. I've been watching all these I guess one guy, Paul Fisher. Congratulations, brother. I've been watching your push-ups. He did a push-up challenge, I think, for like 7-day push-up challenge. And he was doing it full rep, all the way down, all the way up, and I'm going to get into details about what that means and how we do anything that way. Doing it halfway in the long run is going to end up hurting you. Good to see you, Laura. Thank you for Lori. Thank you for checking in here. Thursday evening, 10 o'clock. Do you know who your children are? I was just sitting there as I'm logging on here, seeing it was 10 o'clock, and I'm going back to that programming of all that stuff from back in the past and how the news and the media and the commercials, all the stuff programs our subconscious mind, like the ho ho ho, Green Giant, and all these things they use to program our minds with. So I learned about these strategies and how these things are being programmed to our subconscious, and I stopped watching that stuff. So I turn all those things off. I just want to read a good book, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour of a good book every day. Listen to an audio book, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour, whatever you have time for. I would highly suggest 15 minutes a day. But even if you can do 5 minutes, putting something that's going to put value into your mind, that's what you want to put in. Not the TV shows, not the commercials, not all these funny things coming on Facebook Messenger and all these good things on here, right, James Clapp? All that stuff is not serving you. So first of all, if I want to salute all my veterans out there, I put my veterans hat on today. I want to salute Raul Velasquez. As it just hit 10 o'clock, I can see the shade here going down dimmer on my phone right here. But he told me 4 years ago when I first started the Next Level Boot Camp series, we talked about how you do anything is how you do anything. And it brought me back to when I was back in the military from like 86 to 88. I was reading Arnold Schwarzenegger's book. It's about this thick, for those of you that ever read that book. And it talks about how Arnold Schwarzenegger, who is, as you guys know, is one of the top bodybuilders, Mr. Olympia, Mr. Universe. He won like every title that was out there, Chuck. And this guy, he used to put in the work. So I always followed exactly what he was doing because I said, if he's the best, I want to follow the guy that's the best. If you want to take advice somebody, take it from somebody that has been there and has achieved what you want to achieve. Don't listen to all these other people out there that are going to give you their good opinion. I want to see the guy or gal that's got the results, and I want to mimic what they did. Because you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to know how to do half of this stuff. You can go on YouTube, which is a beautiful thing today, Jeffrey. You can go on YouTube and find most of this information that you need, that you require to get to that next level, that rise up to that next step, to take that one step forward. So like when I'm doing biceps, I used to do a full curl all the way up and all the way back down. When I was doing triceps, I would go all the way out and all the way back down. When I'm doing push-ups, I go all the way out, all the way back down. And that's what Arnold taught me. He was the best of the best. So who do you want to listen to? Consider the source. Consider the best. You want to learn how to play better golf? Follow what Tiger Woods did. You want to be a better basketball player? Look at Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, rest his soul. You want to be one of the best baseball players? Follow what Pete Rose did. That guy had the all-time hit leader. That's how you get to be the best version of yourself. You don't have to compete against anybody else. Compete against yourself. So how you do anything is how you do everything. So every time you're going to do those full push-ups, I'm going to give you a perfect example of why you want to do a full repetition. There was a friend of mine used to do half push-ups and half curls. He used to do all this stuff, and his bicep would get big up here on top, right, and get big. But in the long run, he wasn't going all the way down. So one season, we were playing softball down at Rogers Park in Danbury, and he takes a full cut, big home run swing, and his bicep ripped off of the bone. And the whole muscle fell from up here at the top all the way down to here. His whole bicep muscle was down here. And a very similar thing happened to my brother Skip. So Skip, when you watch this, you know what I'm talking about. So if you're not doing that full repetition and exercising that muscle all the way, stretching it out and all the way back down, in the long run, you're going to pay the price. There are no shortcuts, just like in life. There's no shortcuts in life. There's no shortcuts in business. There's no shortcuts in being your being when you're praying and meditating, reading and journaling. There's no shortcuts in your bonds. If you're there with your husband, your wife, your significant other, you better be all in because they're going to let you know it. This is how you become a better version of yourself. Ed Stock, good to see you, brother. So as I'm finishing up my workout here, I was just finishing out some push-ups. Like, wait a minute, I can visualize these guys doing push-ups here on Facebook for the last month and a half and all these challenges. And they're only doing these half push-ups, man. I used to have this competition when we were in the military. How many push-ups you can do, how many sit-ups you can do in 2 minutes, and then how far can you run in the 2 miles? How fast can you do in 2 miles? Was the PT test that we would have. And these guys were going like this. I'm like, Sarge, look at this guy. He's only doing half a push-up. I got some long arms here, Sarge. You guys can see that. I got some long arms. I could go all the way down, all the way up, all the way down. I said, I'm doing 2 to this guy's 1 over here. He's shortcutting it. You got to touch your chest to the ground like my man Chad Rebel, you was saying there. So Chad, you know what I'm talking about when you watch this. So big shout out to Raul Velasquez for that great insight of how you do anything in life is how you will do everything in life. So don't shortcut it, especially when nobody's looking. Go even harder. I know it's easier to do more when people are watching you. Good to see you, Jason, for checking in here. People can always do more when people are watching, but the real person, the real one that's really dedicated to their craft will do it when nobody's looking. That's how the best become the best. Because they're working when most people are sleeping. I remember when Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant used to talk about they'd be the first ones in the gym, the last ones out of the gym, especially after a bad game. They would just go in there and shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot. Baseball players just sit there and hit and hit and hit and hit. A lot of you guys out here are baseball, softball guys. You know what I'm talking about. I used to take little baby rocks and throw them up in the air and hit them with a wiffle ball bat to form that hand-eye coordination. I remember Mr. Repko used to get us on that wind-up thing with Alan Repko. God rest both of their souls. Alan and Andy would get there and we'd roll up and roll down with a rope, these weights to strengthen these forearm muscles right in here. And that's why I was always a good arm wrestler, because I always got those strong arms from doing that and pitching, fishing, and all the other things I used to do, swinging golf clubs. All those little things add up. So I'm asking you tonight is, where are you shortcutting in life? In your body, in your being, in your business, in your bonds. Those are the 4 pillars of life. Don't shortcut yourself. You get one shot at this. Time to go all in on you. Because how you do anything is how you do everything. Especially when people aren't watching you. Because I know you'll do better when people are watching you. Many of you will do better when people are watching you. Me, I love pressure. I play my best golf under pressure, clutch situations in softball games. I can't tell you how many walk-off hits we had winning games, scoring that winning run. But that's when you're at your best when people are watching. But what can you do when people are not watching you? How many times do you play it a little bit smaller when you're like, you know what? I'm just going to skip today's workout. I'm just going to blow that off. I'll do that tomorrow. As I was sitting here looking at this book over here, it talks about America 2020 survival mode. I bought that over like a year and a half ago. They were already predicting us to be in survival mode. I said, bullshit the survival mode. Let's thrive today, as my good friend Mark Jewell would say. Survival is dead. We should thrive today, because as long as you're doing your best every single day, you're going to get stronger, you're going to get wiser, you're going to get more business, you're going to have more love and more tightness in your bonds. That's the secret to life. Getting better than you were yesterday, doing your best every single day. Because how you do anything is how you will do everything. Good to see you, Mary Grace, all the way from the Philippines. So I'm just finishing up my workout here. I challenge you guys to do your push-up challenge. Touch your chest to the ground, go all the way up, all the way down. Same thing with all your muscles, with your legs. That's how you keep a healthy body here at 53 years old. No pain in my body from doing the work. I had pain in my body 4 years ago. My mind was telling me I can't do it. I got pain in my elbow, pain in my knee. If I work out, I want to injure myself. I want to play softball. I want to go golfing, and all this BS that my mind was telling me. But I just kept going. I keep saying in these videos, keep going, keep moving forward. So I just kept doing it. And eventually the pain went away. I started eating healthier, and the inflammation went away. And it's a great space to live in. So Chuck, I was just logging on here. Chuck is on fire right now. When you start releasing all these feel-good chemicals from your brains, the serotonin, the oxytocin, endorphins, and all these other chemicals, your body gets stronger, your immune system gets stronger. So regardless of any kind of bacteria or viruses that are being sent out there into the universe, your body will fight that off. It's a natural ability of the immune system to fight those things off, Bob Campbell. Good to see you, Carmen. That's the secret. Get better than you were yesterday. And how do you get better than you were yesterday? Doing your best. Because how you do anything is how you would do everything. So take big shout out to Raul Velasquez for that insight 4 years ago. And I can still hear those words echoing every time I get out here to do my workout and nobody's looking. If I'm going out there on the job site and I'm a little bit tired, I don't want to finish the job, I say, no, I'm going to finish before I go home. Because you guys that are out there in construction, do any kind of business, you're in that flow mode. When you stop, you come back the next day, it takes you a half an hour to get back into that flow state again. You know, Ed Stock is a cook. You couldn't get away from cooking. You have to start over again. It takes you a little bit to get into that flow state. But in that flow state, you get a lot more done. So when you're in that flow state, just stay there. The mind's going to try and quit at 60%. Don't let your mind tell you what you know is inside of you. You always have more in your tank, as David Goggins would say. The pull-up champion. I was just doing my pull-ups over here. Overhead presses, my bench presses, some sit-ups. Mixing up these exercises every single day, stretching those muscles out just like you're doing a workout. You do a full rep, do a full stretch out at the end of a workout. That's how you keep the body healthy. That's how you keep the spirit healthy. So when I'm sitting here and I'm focusing on meditating, praying, that's all I'm thinking about. When I'm with my beautiful bride Kathy and we're doing something together, I'm just focused on her. When I'm up here in the gym working out, got my music playing, I'm focusing on my body and getting that thing in shape. I'm making my breakfast in the morning. I'm being very careful what I'm putting into my body. We should all be doing these things. We all know these things that we should be doing. Good to see you, Christina. We all know what to do. Or sometimes we just don't do it, especially when nobody's looking. Maybe I'll just get that little cookie. Let me get a little ice cream. I had ice cream last night. I need to eat the bottom of it. I ate some of it. That's my only weakness in sweets is ice cream. And those of you guys that don't know, we grew up with a vending business for 30 years. I had boxes and boxes of chocolate and Twizzlers and Spree and Razzles and all this stuff in the basements by the cases. We'd go down there and raid that and chips and all this crap I put into my body. Thank God I found Arnold Schwarzenegger's book when I was 18 years old. And that's the first time I really started eating vegetables. I used to eat corn was the only thing I would eat and green beans. I started trying Brussels sprouts and cauliflower and always eating from the God's garden that was inside of the salads and all those good fruits and vegetables and all that stuff. That's when the body started getting healthy. When I went in the military, I was 155. Then I got as high as 192 at my heaviest. Then I was 187 4 years ago. Today the last 3 years actually, I've been right around my Army weight when I got out, around 170. That's a perfect weight for my height and build. So then you keep the body like that, you keep the mind like that, you keep the spirit like that, guess what? You can go to be 100 years old, no problem, like my man Lou Russo. Had no glasses and no medication. Think about that, 100 years old, no glasses, no medication. How is that possible? Because of what he thought, what he put into his body, and he got out there and did his exercises. I shared that video a couple weeks ago. We did that one of our last Facebook Lives. I think it was on April 17th. Something like that. And that guy taught me so much. He thought I was there to help him out, David. But he was actually there helping me out. To make sure I leveled my ass up. To be sure that when we get to the storm that we're in right now, that we're strong enough to pick up your sword and get that dragon on there. Pick up your sword and fight. We don't even know who the enemy is, but we have to fight that inside war first. Once we conquer the inside game, the outside game becomes a lot easier because we're always going to do that workout all out when even nobody's looking. We're going to take those couple extra free throw shots. We're going to take those the last couple of swings in the baseball cage to get ready for that next big opportunity, because we never know when the opportunity is going to show up. We always have to be ready. I had a good inclination that this was coming. As I told Kathy back in Connecticut, I said, we have to get out of Connecticut. It's time to get out of here. We sold a bunch of our properties and hand-loaded up the U-Haul trucks with a bunch of our buddies and drove back and forth 3 times with U-Haul trucks. And then when I got down here, there was nobody here. I had to hire a couple guys that give me a hand unloading those trucks. So we load the trucks, unload the trucks, and all of a sudden here we are in March. So there's some viruses out there. And the world and the country's going crazy right now. But be certain in the middle of the storm. This is going to pass. We're going to be okay. Some people are going to lose their lives. We have to pray for them. Our job is to get stronger in all 4 areas, because how you do anything is how you do everything. In your body, your being, your business, and your bonds, those 4 B's, that's the pillar, that's the framework. I've never seen a table stand on 3 legs. And I haven't seen a person get to 100 years old like my man Lou Russo without having 4 legs underneath them. And practicing that every day. You don't have to be a superstar. You don't have to do it all at once, Robert Aguilar. You have to do it a little bit at a time. So as I finish up my workout here, and I'm challenging you, Robert Aguilar, to post your picture of your push-ups going all the way to the floor and all the way back up. The full repetition. That's how you keep your body healthy and strong. My man Arnold Schwarzenegger, I read that book front to back, and I showed it to Kathy. The cover is still in like mint condition. I got my highlighted notes in there that I was reading. Back then I was eating way too much ground beef. Back then he told us to eat the ground beef. And then I'll learn that ground beef and red meat is not good for the heart. Do your research. I've done my research afterwards and found out about that stuff. We thought that was all the protein. There's plenty of other proteins out there. And all of a sudden, Weider came out with all their protein shakes. A lot of you guys that work out know all about this. Good to see you, Lenny. So what are we doing in our lives every single day? Especially when nobody's looking. Because how you do anything is how you will do everything. Regardless if they're watching or not. Always go out there and give it your best. And that's how we get to that next step. That's how we continue to march forward. And the mind's going to quit at 60%. Don't let your mind tell your heart and soul that it knows where you're going. And a bunch of people, congratulations to Chuck signing up for the membership, or the Diamond membership. This guy is on fire. Watch his 4 B's, his RISE framework blow up. As we continue to do this work every single day, just a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, before you know it, you're going to have a whole pile of abundance. You deserve abundance in your life. You deserve peace in your life. You deserve calm in your life. And we can only do that by doing the work every single day, a little bit, a little bit. It's a simple system. But it's not easy. Because you have to do it every day. 15 minutes of a book, 15 minutes of an audio book, read, meditate, pray, or journal. Eat 1 healthy meal a day as you get started. Work out at least 15 minutes a day, non-stop. If you can get to that level of non-stop for 15 minutes straight, work up a sweat. I don't sweat very easily, even after my workouts. It takes a lot. But I know when we did that, it was a 5K with 26 obstacles, Titan run down in Florida in the heat of the summer. I was sweating. We went through the swamps, we crawled through the muds, we climbed up those ropes, we rang the bells, and all these crazy obstacles. And then the hardest one I remember is a 2x6 when only your fingertips can get on there, and you had to crawl across this thing. I think it was about 13 feet long. After already running through the whole jungle for about 2.5 miles, then you come out to that obstacle. And they finished with the hardest obstacle. You guys that did these races, you understand this. And that's right, brother. One day at a time. Getting better than you were yesterday. Strengthen the mind, body, heart, and the spirit, man. Keep strengthening that body. Keep getting that immune system built up. Smile, man. When you smile, you're releasing those feel-good hormones into the body. Your body's natural chemical drugstore is right up here in your mind. based upon your thoughts that you tell yourself. Be grateful, be thankful. Let all those freaking emotions just pour into your body. I know yesterday I was on a thing with Robert Aguilar here on a live stream, and I was just sitting here in the sun before I got onto that thing. I was just being thankful and grateful. And all of a sudden the energy just filled my body. The whole body was vibrating. We can all get to that space of reception, but you have to be willing to do the work. Day in and day out, a little bit at a time, in 93-day increments is our Rise framework. 93 days, you get your goals, you set them all up. I'm just shooting the videos today on that, so you're going to be getting that shortly, Chuck, on how to do this, to set up your goals in all the areas. And we're going to track this through the app. We have an app that tracks all your progress. Then we're going to break you guys down to teams. We're going to team up and have competitions. And there will be a winner, and there'll be a loser, there will be consequences, and there will be awards awarded. This is how we rise as one. This is how we benefit the collective. Because I know we will be building senior veteran homes right out here in the front yard to honor those veterans that have gone out there and fought the fight for us to be here today. And I'm teaching the students tomorrow at 1 o'clock. You guys want to learn about real estate. Now's a great time to get in. We're already at home. Send me a message. I'm teaching all my secrets. You have to sign a non-disclosure for my intellectual property that I learned in 20 years of the real estate game. So all this is rolling out at the same exact time, so you can't make this up. I've been working on this for 6 months. Now we're forced to be indoors and start learning this stuff. Anyway, guess what? I'm doubling down on my content information. I'm doubling down on my journaling. I journal every morning. I'm on this Facebook Live every day. 113 days. 113 days of journaling. What's it going to look like at the end of the year when we have all that content? We can go through and dissect that and pull out the best of the best. It's like those highlight reels, the best of the best. So thank you guys for continuing to show up. Thank you for liking, commenting, and sharing. That's the only way we can all get to our next dimension, our next level, our next rise step. Keep stepping forward, keep going up. I heard something tonight with Larry White. Larry, when you watch this, brother, the guy said the 3 F's. Fail, fast, forward. I said, man, I haven't heard that in a long time, probably like 10 years since I heard that. Fail, fast, forward. It ties into what we were talking about a couple days ago, is imperfect action is better than no action. It's the same principle. So keep working your mind, keep working your body, keep working your spirit. Go out there and love on some people in your neighborhood. Because if you're feeling bad, go serve somebody else and watch how your energy shifts by doing good for one of your neighbors. We were over here talking to our neighbor over here about fixing their fence. They were just so thankful and grateful. You can see the fear in their face. I'm like, know that we're right over here. If you need anything, we're right here. I gave her my card, so you call us. We will be here in a moment's notice. I can run there in about 30 seconds. But don't go this alone. Stay connected. Don't allow them to disconnect us. Stay connected with a phone call. Love on your neighbor. Look out for every one of you guys. This is how we're going to rise as one to make that difference. And as we're launching right now, this week we just started. Watch how fast this community goes out there and starts serving people, and how the people in the community get blessed. Because this is what's inside of us, giving freely with no expectations. When you give freely from an open heart, somehow, some way, this universal law just pours abundance onto you, and you receive the gift. Because in order to be a blessing, in order to receive a blessing, you must first be the blessing. And that's the secret to the success of life. So, Guy, how you do anything is how you do anything. How you do anything is how you do everything. So continue to show up, guys. This is just getting started. It's going to get good. Get yourself ready. The mind, body, and spirit keep showing up. They have not seen nothing yet. And when it's all said and done together, we will rise as one. You guys have a blessed and fantastic night. We will see you tomorrow. Day 113. Over and out. Bobby Deke.